everyone. So we're here today to look at two awesome cameras, the Pentax 645z digital medium format, and Danica's holding the Nikon D850. I think, in my opinion, the best full-frame DSLR camera on the market today. And I just want to see if full-frame image quality is caught up to digital medium format image quality. And you probably recognized Danica before. She's been on the channel. But if you want, you can introduce yourself again.
Yes, I'm Danica Barron. This is one of my last shoots with him because I'm moving soon, but it's going to be a good one.
A lot of outfits today.
Yeah.
So this is probably the third outfit, I think, so far.
Yeah, third.
And I know we've gotten a lot of good shots already. Danica's really a really experienced model, so I don't have to work as much in posing her. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll keep on shooting, and I'll be sure to swap between the cameras during the photo shoot. You can try facing the dark side. Okay, so I'm going to test out the two cameras. This will be at 50 millimeters, shutter speed 1/160th, f8. White balance is at 4400. Sorry, actually the Nikon is at 4350K and the Pentax is at 4400. You cannot set 4400 on the D850. Okay, so this is at 50 millimeter. Danica is going to do the same pose. One, focusing on her eye. 1, 2, and 3. One more shot. Same pose, please. Thank you. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, hold that pose. See if I can get it the same composition. Right away, I notice a huge viewfinder. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, this is on mirror up. Forgot to set it. Okay, cancel that. I'm focusing on Danica's eye. 1, 2, and 3. The trigger, yep. These tests sometimes hard to do, but Danica's really good at holding the pose. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Trigger not being activated. Maybe we have to do. Okay, let me try one more time. 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna have to do flash sync. Oh, flash is only 1/125th. I cannot change the shutter and the ISO. Let me go down to, I was shooting 100. Okay, let's go try it. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me check exposure. It may be a little bit bright. I have to lower down the shutter speed. It's not syncing up. So 1, why isn't my shutter speed not syncing up? Okay, try again. 1, 2, and 3. Check. You see that black border? Can you see that? Does it seem like it's syncing up? Okay, so we're gonna stop filming and we're gonna see what's going on here. Okay, so I went down to number 25, flash sync speed, because it's not working with the studio light setup. I changed it to 1/100th of a second. So now we're gonna see if everything's okay. So I'm gonna use the Pentax first. Settings 1/100th. I'm gonna do f9, ISO 100, f8, ISO 100, okay. Okay, 3 first body, focusing on Danica's eye, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, let me use the trigger. Okay, trigger's on. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, one more shot. Same pose. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's check if it worked out. Okay, it worked out good. I'm gonna change cameras. Same pose. 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we'll keep on shooting. Some internal features of the Nikon D850 is its battery life. It's really high at 1,840 shots. And the 645Z battery life by CIPA is about 650 shots. But from my personal experience with the Nikon D850 for a couple of weeks now, the battery life drains really quick. It's not the 1,800 shots that is being stated on the specifications. The Pentax 645Z does last longer than 600 shots, so maybe I do need to kind of exercise the battery, the lithium battery with the D850 to get more out of it. Other internal features is video, but the Pentax 645Z only shoots 1080p at 30 frames per second, but the Nikon D850 shoots 4K at 30 frames per second. Danica is changing right now into her next outfit. All right, we'll keep on shooting. 1, 2, and 3.
So turn on every side.
1, 2, and 3.
Still you can hear me scream.
Some internal features of both cameras. The Nikon D850 has a 45.7 megapixel full frame digital sensor. The Pentax 645Z, they call it crop digital medium format. It has a 51.4 megapixel sensor. The 645Z shoots 3 frames per second. The Nikon D850 shoots 7 frames per second, but if you add a battery grip, it shoots 9 frames per second. The viewfinder is pretty good. I think it's Nikon's largest at 0.75x magnification, but the Pentax, if you put a 75mm 2.8 lens, the viewfinder is huge at 0.85 magnification. This only has a 98% field of view, whereas the D850 has 100% field of view. The D850 has a lot of focus points, 153 dynamic area focus points. The Pentax only has 27. The Nikon does focus on paper better in low light and -4 EV sensitivity. The Pentax focuses -3 EV sensitivity, but through my experience, the 645Z still focuses really good in dim light. So maybe Pentax is underrating the specs of this camera. So Danica should be coming in soon, and we'll continue shooting.
This is a cold place, alone with you. Such a cold, cold place. This is a cold place, alone with you. Such a cold, cold place.
Some physical features of the Nikon D850 is it has great ergonomics. It really feels great in the hand. It's actually, of course, smaller than the Pentax 645Z that Danica is holding. They both have top LCD screens at the top to look at the information. They both have weather sealings. The D850 is lighter at 2.2 pounds. The 645Z, as Danica can probably tell you, it's heavy at 3.4 pounds. So far, we've been shooting for about 30 minutes. How do you like the photos that's coming out from the Nikon and the Pentax?
Which one did we do the last one with? Was it this?
The last one I was shooting with was the Nikon, but when I zoomed in to your eyes, it was the Pentax.
Oh, okay. I think I like the Nikon because it was less like sharp.
Oh, okay.
Or, yeah.
Less details in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of photographers say, why do you need a camera that can pull out so much detail when actually for portraits you don't want to see every single blemish, every single little pore where the photographer actually has to go home and try to edit that to smooth it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. Okay, we'll keep on shooting.
I'm still in the ashes.
Like, Yeah, the medium format. But I can see your lashes here. But more detail on this one.
Before it starts to feel, oh, I will burn it down. I will burn it down. This is not my home. I will burn you down. Oh, it's a long, long fall from the top of the world, but it's finally over. Finally over.
Okay, we're done with our photo shoot. Danica has tried on 4 different outfits, and we adjusted the lighting to match the mood of each outfit. Earlier in the video, Danica didn't like the Pentax because it's actually bringing out so much detail. I have yet to go home and compare the raw files side by side on the computer to see which image quality actually is better. I do have a feeling the 645Z is better, but I just want to see how better it is compared to the D850. So I know you're busy rating the photos on the D850.
Yeah.
Overall, how do you like the photo shoot we did today? I know it's your last shoot before you
I
go off
loved
island.
it. It was fun because I've never really done studio shoots, so this is probably one of my real first studio shoots.
Yeah.
So it's fun working indoors for once.
Yes.
And
Air conditioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
getting
on
to
hot.
change your outfits. It was fun.
I had fun too.
Yeah.
As you know, I rarely do, of course, studio shoots. I'm always outdoors,
Yeah.
showing Guam scenery, but it's still summer and it's super hot outside. And it's actually good just to kind of take your time because we're not fighting against the light outside.
Yeah.
We have the studio lights we can control. And the only thing we're fighting against is just like, when the studio closes, that's about it.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking a lot. But if you haven't, please subscribe. Do you want to advertise your Instagram or?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at DanicaXo.
And of course, I'll put it on the screen or in the link in the description, or put it in the description, link for Danica's Instagram. Anything else you want to say? You're leaving off island for a long time, and this is the last time we're probably going to shoot for a while. But hopefully, any photographers in Hawaii that's watching, you're going to be staying on the big island or
Yes,
no?
Oahu.
Oahu? Okay, you can look at Danica. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we are home now. I'm going to make the Pentax 645z files always on the left-hand side of your screen. Some of you may be wondering how I was able to import the Pentax files into Capture One. I had to change the EXIF data to read that it's a Phase 1 IQ250 camera. So as a result, if you look to your left, it's using the color profile from the Phase 1 IQ250. And it did notice that sharpening is at 140 value, radius 1, and a D50 default is 120 at 0.8. And later on, we are going to look at these files in Lightroom to have like a more fairer comparison. But I just want to say this is not like super scientific. I'm just curious if the D50 raw files is very similar or as good as the crop digital medium format Pentax 645z. Okay, let's zoom in 100% to the Pentax file. Zooming in at 100, letting this load. Very sharp, super sharp. Okay, D850 file, zooming in. Sharpness, I have to say the 645Z is slightly sharper, but maybe it's because of the raw converter being set at default 140 versus 120. But I do notice zooming out that Danica is a little bit more vibrant. And I also noticed on the, I think you see better in Lightroom, but on the fabric of Danica's clothing, I see a little bit of moire here. It might be hard to see on YouTube, but on the D50, I know Nikon is advertising that it's really impossible to get moire on their fabric. Danica's fabric, you don't see any moire at all, like the rainbow effect. But we'll check that out again when we head on to Lightroom. So next set of files I want to check out. Next outfit. Okay, again 645Z on the left, and if you notice, the skin tones is really apparent in this 645Z file, and the D850 skin tones seem kind of flat. But let's check for sharpness, zooming in to 100%. Very sharp. Let's just do 200%. Okay, 200% for the D850. Okay, let this load. I say slightly the 645Z is sharper versus the D850. Very close. Okay, last outfit I want to check, and we'll head over to Lightroom. And I do notice like Danica skin tones are different with the IQ250 color profile. Alright, checking for sharpness again. This is a very sharp shot. Super sharp. Let's head over to D850s. Very sharp. I think sharpness in both is equal. The lenses I was using is 24 to 120 f4 lens, and I was using the Pentax 55mm 2.8, the newest one made for digital. So the lenses could play a factor in the sharpness, of course. Okay, let's head over to Lightroom. I have it open here already. And right away you notice that the files are kind of muted. We're using Adobe Color. I did my best to try to match the settings of the camera. The sharpness is the same, 40. And this is the D850, set at 40. Adobe Color. Okay, let's go to library, side by side. And we'll make the Pentax on the left hand side. I know this photo's kind of shot dim, but let's check for the moire I was talking about earlier. This is zooming in at 2 to 1, I believe. Yes, so 200%. So you can clearly see the moire here, right? Just importing the default profile with, you know, this is Pentax's profile. You can import into Lightroom, but not capture one. So you can, it's really apparent here. The D850 doesn't have any moire at all. Okay, let's go for sharpness. As you can see, 645Z slightly sharper. The settings for this is in studio. White balance is about 4400 Kelvin. D50 can only do 4350. Pentax can do 4400. ISO both at 100. Aperture both at f8. Shutter speed 645Z. I had to make it 1/100th of a second just to sync up with the flash, the strobes in studio, and I had to do 1/160th. So maybe the slower shutter speed accounts for the darker exposure, but sharpness slightly advantage for the 645Z. Okay, next outfit. Less vibrant, of course, with the Adobe Color. Zooming in. 2 to 1. I say sharpness is about the same here. Very nice. Okay, last outfit. And one of my friends said that even though I was using the same settings, it could be the glass. The glass could also alter the colors. Could be warmer colors for the Pentax because I was using this lens at 55 2.8, like I said earlier. And it could be cooler white balance because I was using the 24 to 120 for the Nikon. But I do notice that the 645Z files for some reason seem more lifelike versus the full frame files. Again, this is 2 to 1, tad sharper with the 645Z, but the D50 not as sharp. But we can easily fix that if we go into develop, and this is a D50 file. Scroll down and we'll go to sharpening. We can boost it up to 80, right? And then library, select the two, compare side by side. Now let's check for sharpness. Yeah, they pretty much match up. So all you need to do is just increase the sharpness, you know, double to 80 with this D850, and it'll look exactly like the D850, very close to the 645Z, very close. So it's kind of hard to say. It depends if you're in studio all the time. Of course, the 645Z is built for the studio. If you're kind of like a hybrid shooter, you go outside, you take landscape images, portraits, and you need the 4K, of course, get the D850. But if you're just concentrating on landscapes, studio, you don't mind carrying the heavy camera around, you don't do that much video, then of course I think the 645Z is a really excellent choice. Used prices now are falling for the Pentax. Maybe about $4,000 now used for the body. The D850 still pretty high in demand, and the price is still used maybe around $3,000, a little bit under the $3,200 of retail. But these two cameras come very, very close. I was really surprised that the D850 can hold its own, and Nikon does advertise no moire, and I did not see any moire on the fabric that the 645Z was showing moire. So I think just the versatility and overall, if I had to choose between the 645Z and the D850, and it's a hard choice because when I was selling my Sony gear, I really want to get into digital medium format, and I really want to get the 645Z. But now that I'm using the D850 more often and has a 4K video, and the touchscreen is excellent at the back, between the two, I would go with the D850. It's really hard to tell in studio which camera is better. Thank you for watching Guam Photography, and please subscribe.